Welcome to another episode of the I'm Just Saying show. Well, today we will be discussing just some funny things, some crazy things. You know, sometimes stuff just happens in your life that just make you be like, what the hell? You know, like, am I in the Twilight Zone or what? So today we're just going to share some what the hell moments.
Right.
You know, so
we're going to dive right in.
We're going to dive right in. Let's get
going. Chris, you want to start us off? I can start us off.
Okay.
The first story that y'all trying to peek.
You always got notes and
right.
What the hell? What the hell?
Right. Just saying.
First one that I want to talk about is that's a stinky mess. All right. So what the hell? A woman in oh gosh, I don't know what city this was in, but she was sentenced to 25 years in prison for because she was arrested while going to visit someone in jail. But she was arrested for smuggling a 22 caliber loaded gun in her vagina.
What the hell?
So when they say cock strong, they mean
Cock
diesel. She ended up. They ended up finding. I'm sorry. She also had crystal meth in her butt.
She was loaded.
Loaded. I know I'm always doing stories about.
She was
blocked
and loaded.
But they ended up finding ammunition and other drug paraphernalia in her car, and she pled guilty to possession of drugs with an intent to supply, possession of gun, and transporting contraband into a jail.
Yeah.
What the hell?
How did they find the gun? Through the metal detectors? So when she walked through, where did it?
Disgusting. But I always said a 22. I always said a 22 is a woman's best friend.
So cute. Yeah, so cute. I need me a cute little pink 22.
See, you're gonna shove it. You're 22.
Man, that would have been crazy if it went off.
I know. I was thinking like that's kind of. Like, are you having an orgasm?
No,
She's doing. Ooh.
I'm thinking about what that would hurt. Like,
I mean, you would probably be dead,
but it would hurt first. You know.
Dang, that's crazy.
Well, any of my what the hell stories that we do, they're all based on real life experiences. So the first one is a crazy, crazy road rage incident. This semi truck, and this is a real life experience. This past week, semi truck driving crazy down the highway, and you guys know semi trucks just in and of themselves can just they can scare you. But this guy was on the highway 77 north, just getting on top of cars, doing no less than 80, whatever. He was actually turning his wheel, trying to scare cars to let him over and all of that. At one point, though, this same semi-truck driver, a driver could not get out of the way quick enough. He threw an object out of his truck and actually hit someone's car, caused damage to their car, kept on driving, whatever. So, yeah, I was like, did he really just throw something out of his truck? Kept on going, could have injured the driver, could have caused a death. That driver could have stopped and been hit, but I'm like, who carries things in their vehicle
To throw at people.
to throw out of their vehicle people? Yeah, so that was definitely
crazy.
Oh, what the hell? I heard road rage, but godly. But he was actually charged with criminal damaging and criminal endangerment.
He should have been. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was. And you've heard the stories of kids on bridges and stuff doing stuff like that, but this is a grown licensed driver, a commercial licensed driver.
And this was while he was at work.
Yeah, this was while he was at work.
What the hell?
Right.
Got a bunch of idiots.
Right. What the hell?
That's one of my what the hell stories.
All right, so this is my what the hell. A lot of times you'll hear me refer to pulling a Rodney on somebody, so I'm going to finally explain to you what this is. So at one of my old employers, this guy, he was super nice. He was working at my job part-time. Super cool dude, just like everybody liked him or whatever. It was lunchtime. He was like, all right, I see y'all when I get back. I'm going to lunch, clock out. This dude just never came back. Like, he never came back. If days went by, we just never heard. The supervisors was calling his home, trying to call people because they thought maybe something had happened. He had got murdered. Anything. They just really didn't know. So, like, maybe 2 weeks passed or whatever. And then, my other coworkers was at Summit Mall.
Okay.
And they're like, I saw Rodney. And we were like, oh, did you? Well, what happened to him? And we thought, no, not as a customer. He working at Macy's.
Wow.
I was
That
like,
is-
what the hell?
Wait, he does not go from job at lunch.
Like, hey, he back.
That is.
So that's when I say, I'm about to pull a Rodney up in here. You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
good one to hell. That is okay. Wow. Tink, you got one? That's my what the hell. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Expecting Tink to have a story. Be prepared. Okay.
All right.
Right.
All right. So, I have another what the hell, and
Okay.
and I put a little title on this one. It's called Bad Habit.
Okay.
Nun, 68-year-old nun in New York, Albion, New York, arrested. And she only was sentenced.
You like them arrest stories?
Her sentence, I know, her sentence was, we could talk about this maybe, but anyway, she was caught by way of an audit, and they learned that she had a gambling habit. Well,
A habit, like her habit that she wears used to gamble?
girl, no. Her addiction to gambling caused her to steal $130,000 from 2 parishes, and she was spending that money at the casino.
Will she wear her nun outfits?
Oh no!
Oh,
It
man.
started though from bingo.
It's just a-
And you know, because
The churches do get
they do bingo. They gamble all the time.
And they
Not
play
at
the races.
Bingo. They gamble all the time.
Yeah.
The nun with the gambling addiction.
Bad habit.
The nun with the bad
She was only sentenced to 90 days, I think 90 days and 100 hours of community
Who
service.
would do it?
I'd be like,
What if it just
ma'am, I bet you
doesn't
can't do them 90 days.
Like, I can't. God don't forget her like it.
I said, I bet you can't do
I
them 90
bet.
days.
Really?
Just any
I bet.
I just better than
I bet.
Be all shaken.
I bet I can. I bet I can.
I bet you can't do 1,000 Hail Marys without taking a breath. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's messed up though.
Bad habit.
Okay. My other one is based on a real life experience. Not my doctor, let's be clear. I love my OBGYN. But another, a friend of mine was telling me about her OBGYN, and she was asking us at work about breast exams. And we were like, she was like, does your doctor like pluck your breast after the exam? And we were like,
What?
do you mean pluck your breast? And she was like, my doctor would do my exams and he would go like this and then he would go, boop.
What the fuck is a pluck?
So we were like, you lying. She was like, no, for real. He would do it and then he would go. And then she was like, he'd take my legs and like stretch my legs up and be like, oh, you're really flexible. She said
That's nasty.
He was
so. One of our other coworkers was like, yeah, dude, she was like, you making me feel like I was molested or whatever. She was like, I was young when I started going to this doctor. I was only like 16. And so the other coworker was like, well, dang, yeah, I'm sure when you told your mom to stop going to, and so she was like, well, he delivered my first child.
What?
I said, well then,
Okay, what the hell is on her?
I said, that's what I said, well then, it went from being molested to an affair. Because shit, if your doctor doing all of that and telling you flexible, putting your knees by your ears
With panties off.
and plucking your nipples after an exam, that you like that shit. So we still tease that phrase, you know who you are, to this day. Talking about some damn pluck. Talking about do y'all's OBGYN pluck y'all after they. I said no, first of all, there shouldn't be any squeezing while they're doing it.
Right.
That shit, but anyway, so yeah, that's a serious
That's
one.
horrible.
True
That's
story.
horrible.
And that's crazy because like my GYN when he's doing it, we're making small talk and we're talking
Right.
about real life stuff.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the weather. We're talking about like his family, my family.
Yeah.
what kind of conversation is happening when he's flying her titty and fingering her, whatever.
Right, and putting her legs up, talking about you flexible, whatever. And she just laying there like,
But that's normal. She thinks every OBGYN.
and that's what she did. She thought it was like that.
Funny.
Oh,
You
God.
know?
Oh, goodness. Okay, so this next one, all mine come from a work experience.
That's okay.
This next...
What the hell? Let's end it on a good one then. Tell us this one.
This next one is when I was working in the call center. And I got this call from a customer, and her card was not working. And this is for a jewelry store.
Okay.
So her card was not working, and I could not figure out why her card was not working. It was new, just opened. She hadn't used it. I even called the home store. I'm like, you know, did she come in today or whatever? It's like, no, I see that it's open, but we've never seen this customer. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, ma'am, you know, what store are you at?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm not at the store. I'm at the ATM. I can't get the pen. I'm trying to get this money out. I'm like, ma'am, this is a charge card, not a credit card. You can only use it at the jewelry store.
Right. Wow.
She was like, oh.
She thought it was like a debit card.
Yeah. Oh, okay, my bad. Never mind then. I was like, what the hell?
Wow.
Like, we cracked up in the call center all day about that. It was crazy.
Wow.
I'm like, I spent at least 15 minutes trying to figure out why this woman's card was not working.
And
Because she had the ATM trying to get money with a charge card. That's for a jewelry store.
Wow, that is a wow. Okay, can I just do one more real
Wait,
quick?
I got a funny one.
You have one now, okay?
I told you.
What the hell? Right. Okay.
Okay. This is really funny. So, we're... What, fool? So, anyway, I received this call, okay, there was a small little medical billing error, okay, for some physical therapy my husband had received. And, you know, everything was paid except the copay, but it was a discrepancy with who was going to pay for it because it wasn't on the job thing and all that. But anyway, so a girl from a collection agency called, and she called, you know, to discuss payment. So I'm discussing it with her, and the conversation was going really well. She was really sweet, really, you know, I was complying with her, and everything was fine. And like halfway into the conversation, she just kind of started getting a little belligerent, you know. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, calm down. You know, first of all, you know, don't talk to me any kind of way. I'm trying to explain. So, you know, she, under the guise of being professional, but she getting smart. And so she tell me, well, you know, I'm just trying to work this out because I'm trying to get this taken care of. Like, first of all, you call my house, you not knowing what you're talking about. So I told her, you know, because at this point, I was upset. And so I'm like, well, you trying to get smart. First of all, you making up words that don't exist, honey. Tooken is not a word, okay? So we get into this whole, like, debate. And so
Grammar lesson.
right. And so she, oh, don't insult me. I'm like, and it took everything I had not to call her a B. But I'm like, don't me insult you? I'm like, don't you insult you. You don't call in my phone, making up words and shit.
Right. Right.
I should say it again.
Anyway, well, I'm trying to get this taken care of.
Wow. What the hell? Wow.
Yeah, you
Okay. Right.
You going to go back to 8th grade.
Wow.
Third.
Don't find it. Remember that language immersion I tried to get us in the first season?
And you know, when you doing something like that and you know you about to get smart, please make sure you on point with everything. Because that's the worst thing. Somebody that had to come back and correct you.
But the collection agents, they get I remember a little piggyback on that. One of your oldest friends, she was saying how somebody from
I think Macy's.
Macy's called her, or one of the stores called her and said, you know, you owe this amount. She was like, I can't pay, and they was like, B, didn't you know? She was like, B, what the hell? Yeah, when you charge. And you can't do anything because it's like I can only get to them. But really quickly, just just something I want to say really, really funny. Another what the hell was, I know a gentleman who was telling me at the department, he's a police officer at the department that he works at, their maintenance guy just retired after 35 years. And he would be so frustrated. He was like, I don't understand how he stayed on that job for 35 years. He had to be a relative. I was like, well, what do you mean? He was like if a toilet or something was broken, they would call in somebody else to fix it.
The maintenance man wouldn't do it.
Yeah. I said, well, what did he do? He was like, well, I mean, he kind of cleaned, but kind of did. I said, well, what do you mean? He was like he would do the sinks like this with a dry cloth. He would just do one wipe through all the sinks. Can the camera follow me for a minute?
Really?
This is so funny. I promise. He said this is how he mopped. He said he had the big bucket. He said he would be dragging the bucket along. And I said, what? And just mopped it with the mop in the bucket. He was like, he wouldn't take the mop out, but when he did, he would just take the mop out. No lie. He would. He said he would take the mop out, not wring it or anything, and just drag it back. He said he would turn around down the hall and just drag it the other way. He'd move with the bucket and the mop. I was like, hell, 30, can I get on like that? But I'm like, really, what the hell? I said, so wait, when you guys had a problem, you would call somebody to do repairs. And then he was like, yeah, he would like clean out the urinals. He would take like a dry cloth and then he would clean out the urinals and the sink.
With the same?
So nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty.
So, that was my what the hell story. But I think you had a good one about some watches or something, didn't you?
Well, I know someone whose relative was getting married. Whose relative was getting married. And so their relative told them, we're getting married, we're going to the courthouse. Can we borrow your rings?
The wedding rings off your
Yeah, yours and your husband's wedding ring. I'm like, hell no, you can't borrow mine. And so I'm like, well, what did they end up using? She was like, well, they ended up exchanging watches. What the hell?
That's cute.
That is not cute.
Time.
Not cute.
Our time is forever.
No, our time is done. If you give me some shit like that.
Okay, so I have one more.
Okay.
I call this steel trap.
Okay.
So Spanish firefighters had to intervene in a very intimate way. A man was engaging in self-pleasuring, and he ended up getting a steel sex toy trapped on his dick and his nuts.
Ooh.
So firefighters had to come and use circulating saws.
Did you say firefighters had to come?
This like American Pie. Remember when he got his hand stuck in his...
I didn't watch American Pie.
Yeah.
You can't say the D word.
I'll bleep her out. That's okay.
Anyway,
Firefighters had to arrive.
let me tell you how long it took them. It took them so long to get this off. They had to go through 2 sets of battery changes in order to.
Wait, battery?
What does...
They used 2 rotating blades and had to undergo 2 battery changes in order
That's
to do the
embarrassing.
procedure.
That's like the dude who got the gerbil stuck in his behind. They had to go to the hospital.
I thought that was an urban legend that didn't happen.
That happened in Akron. For real, for real.
I thought they said that was Richard Gere.
No!
I
didn't hear that.
Richard Gere. I heard that.
No.
But it was a
Years
real...
ago.
It was a real story that happened in Akron. I ain't gonna say who.
But that really did happen? A gerbil?
Really? That's disgusting.
Well, I know.
Maybe he heard about Richard Gere and thought he might try it. I don't know.
That's
I heard
nasty.
somebody had a hot dog now.
Y'all, I had a similar story. This is a what the hell moment. Not like that, because I don't have no penis or nothing. Or no, But I was teaching, and I was a student had got a stapler stuck in a staple stuck in a stapler. So I'm sitting up there trying to do. It came down on my thumb.
Ooh.
The stapler is stuck to my finger. I'm trying not to holler because I have a class full of kids, and they all like, It was hurting like hell. I'm like, go get Miss Keys. Now this is the science teacher. This girl come in. I'm sitting up there with the stapler stuck. I said, can you help me get? Then the social studies teacher come over. Oh Lord. I'm like, oh
Why
my
are
God.
all these teachers?
All I could think is I'm gonna have to go to the emergency and explain. Like, that's embarrassing. You got a stapler stuck to you. I'm like, oh man, please don't let me have to go to the emergency. But the nurse did come down and she got it out. Shout out to Fallon. She got it out my finger. But it was actually stuck to my finger. But that wasn't my last one. This is my last one.
Oh, okay.
This is my last one. I mean, they was talking about crazy stuff stuck to body parts. But anyways, this is my last one. I don't have enough of them. I'm going to act like I do. Anyways. This is the last one. Call center again. A call. Dang, because when you in the call center, anybody in the call center know crazy stuff happens.
That is so true.
So, this female calls in, and typically at this place where I work, if it was notated that you had spoke to the spouse in the past, and they can document, I think, social security number and a couple other things, you can talk to the spouse. So, I went through all that. The spouse is confirming some purchases, whatever. I confirmed them, whatever. Got off the phone, everything fine. About 20 minutes later, they're like, you got a call. It's a call from you on a call you took earlier. And I'm like, for what? And I couldn't get on the phone good. You mother effing idiot. This guy is just yelling at me. And I'm like, I'm sorry, sir, what did I do? Can I get your account number? You get that. And I pull it up and I'm like, yeah. You told my wife about these purchases. I'm like, yes, because she called and I confirmed them.
Right.
This wasn't for her. You like, he cussing me out. It was for his mistress, y'all. And I had confirmed every purchase for his wife. Wow. That was more like a what the F moment.
Ooh,
I was embarrassed. I couldn't even
He should have been embarrassed. I mean,
Stupid, you can't even be smart doing dirt.
I was like, dang, I'm sorry. So after that, they changed it to we couldn't even
say anything.
No, because when you're working with a jewelry company,
I guess that's how they set them up on.
They not be for the wife. But yeah, he cussed me out. He called me every name in the book.
He should have been calling himself that. He's the one that did it.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
I confirmed every single, and there was a bunch of them, y'all. Ooh. I'm just like, yep, and on this day, and I'm giving all kinds of details.
He was like, you're one lucky gal.
Right. Really?
Man, okay, but that was my last one. What the hell? Anyways, I think that's it.
I think that's it. All right. Those were all fun stories. What the hell, for sure.
This was a fun and exciting show. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of the I'm Just Saying show. And please join us next week when we have more fun topics and exciting news. And before we go, we want to shout out that this month, July, is National Minority Mental Health Awareness Month. So, I know it's sometimes taboo as African Americans and minorities. We don't want to get those health checks and mental health checks, but please do so.
And black people can go to counseling.
Exactly. And
Absolutely.
if you had a broken foot, or if you needed a sling or a little support for your arm or your heart or your sugar, as they say, you would take what you needed to manage that. So your mind is no less important.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm Teak, and I'm just saying happy birthday to my niece Tasha Renee and to my bestie Shani.
Yay. I'm Shani, and I'm just saying I want to do a shout out to my husband today. I love you, baby, and I know you like my look. I'll wear it more often.
Hey, turn up.
Turn up.
Turn up that straight and come. I'm Dee, and I'm just saying, with that story you had, that gives a new meaning to concealed carry.
I'm Chris, and I'm just saying that shit cray.
Ain't it, Jay?
What's your order?
Fish fillet.
I'm Jess, and I'm just saying single moms rock.
Hi, I'm Selene, and I'm just saying, quit faking the funk, be real, and do what you
I'm Lindsay, and I'm just saying, stay easy, breezy, beautiful, Lindsay girl.
So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, oops. Do it again.
And welcome to another episode of the I'm Just Saying So show.
We can't use that.
No, I was gonna start. I was gonna let it be right in there so they can see how stupid y'all is. Yeah,
And they singing two different songs.
Right.
I'm just saying, that shit cray.
Ain't it, Jay?
What's
your order?
Fish fillet.
This okay. This okay.
They don't know the words.
Like this again.
Yeah. And then
that is not cute.
Time.
Not cute.
Our time is forever.
No,
You know.
no, our time is done. If you give me some shit like that, unless it's a Movado or give me.
did somebody just put their coffee out?
Maintenance.
Right. Right. Get a draft. Maintenance.
Too much. I don't know. Is this the end?
Are we still doing current
Is
events?
this
Come on.
the end? Are you my friend? Ooh, it seems to me you want to be free. Used to be there when the chips were down.
Oh.
Somebody used to be.
Used to be there when I was wrong.
Girl, can't you see how I feel?
You deaf tone.
All these feelings that I feel are real.
Hey.
Oh, baby,
But she never told me when. She told me it would happen when I was much older. I wish it would have happened then. Is this